Hello, Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and analysis from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. Well, this week we have the story of how some Kentucky liberals are risking hurting Kentucky schools, students, and teachers by refusing to obey the law. That is correct. Schools are now legally required to cease and desist pushing this DEI agenda. The DEI is the part of the radical leftist movement pushing really socialism, racism, and this whole transgender and sexualization of children. And they have now been instructed that they are to stop pushing those things, and if they don't, they risk losing all federal funding, which they can ill afford to lose, by the way. Here in Kentucky, we have 171 public school districts. All but 2 of them have said and signed the document saying, we will stop pushing this. But there are 2 public school districts in Kentucky, the biggest 2, who says, nope, they're going to continue to do this and refuse to sign. And take a wild guess where they're from. That's right, it is Louisville and Lexington.
Oh, there's a big surprise. That's an incredible. I think I'm going to have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
Yes, this is not a surprise. The 2 hotbeds of liberalism in Kentucky, the Jefferson County Public School District and the Fayette County ones, are saying that they are going to continue to push DEI and they won't sign the document saying that they are going to stop. This is in direct violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So this is a major problem here because they could be risking losing all of this money that will go for the schools, for the students, for the teachers, and then they're going to blame President Trump because they didn't obey the law and they're the ones that chose to lose all the funding. I can see a lot of parents moving out of these districts so they can go to different school districts in Kentucky that actually are getting the funding because they're obeying the law. It's the end of the year, and at the end of the year, you always get a report card. So let's do a little report card on the JCPS, which is the one leading this fight, saying, no, we're going to keep with the DEI. Now, by the way, all the numbers that I am about to show you do not come from me or my evaluation. They are not debatable. The numbers you are about to see are from the Kentucky Department of Education's own website. And I will have the link for that where you can verify every single thing I'm saying. So this is how they are doing according to their own numbers. And you're going to find out it's a terrible report card. Let's take a look at it. And these are going to be the basic subjects of reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. The basic classes you're supposed to know. This is what they get according to their own website. In reading, they get a F, a 37% in reading. When it comes to writing, it's not any better, it's worse. It goes down to 29%. Only 29% of kids in these schools can actually read at the level they're supposed to. I mean, that means most of the kids are way below where they should be. When it comes to math, it's even worse, 27%. You ever wonder why kids nowadays can't give you change and they got to type it into the register or the calculator? Because only 27% can actually do math at the level they're supposed to. When it comes to science, it's only 13%. Social studies is only 30%. I mean, this is a failing grade in every single one of the core subjects. Schools also have an overall performance rating. They used to have it by numbers, but here in the last year or 2, they changed it to colors because that didn't seem as bad. According to the Kentucky Department of Education's own website, JCPS gets a D. This is below average. And this is the crowd pushing DEI. Yes, I got a wild idea that instead of pushing racism, socialism, and all this radical transgender stuff, maybe they should be concentrating on teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. And by the way, if this wasn't scary enough, a photo has come out in the last week or 2, which I think is very telling and somewhat disturbing. This is the photo that you can see here. This was the Jefferson County School Superintendent talking to a bunch of teachers. Now, I want you to notice 2 things in this photo, the reason why this is incredibly disturbing. Number 1, look at the big word there, forward. Their idea pushing this forward. Let's do a little history study real quick about pushing this word and this type of agenda with this radicalist ideas. First of all, year 1844, there was Karl Marx, the guy who wrote the Communist Manifesto. He had a newspaper in Germany called Vorwärts. In English, that means forward. 1917, you had Vladimir Lenin and the communist takeover that he started through the universities and schools. He had a newspaper called Vprad. In Russian, that means forward. You have Mao Zedong over in China, and the Chinese communist takeover in the 1950s. Their slogan was the Great Leap Forward. The 1960s, you have Fidel Castro and the communist radical left takeover of Cuba. His slogan was Adelante. You can see it in several of their posters here. That means in English, forward. In 2012, you have Barack Hussein Obama pushing the radical leftist agenda. His slogan, remember everybody, it was what? Forward. Kamala Harris just last year with a radical leftist communist agenda. What was her slogan, everybody? Forward. And then what do we see being pushed by the JCPS superintendent to the teachers? This same thing, forward. It is the same radical leftist socialist agenda used throughout history. Oh, and also notice this other thing. What's on the podium here? Is it a picture of the flag, Kentucky, anything? No, it's the symbol for the transgender movement, the sexualization of children, and it's just that's what's up there on the podium when they're pushing the socialist agenda. It'd be a crazy idea that instead of pushing racism and socialism and all this sexualization, that maybe the school should teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. Maybe just why not try it? Maybe it would work out better that way. If you don't like this being pushed in Kentucky's largest public school districts, then you have a few options. Number one, contact your state legislature and have them actually start enforcing some of these laws. Until some people are going to get fired, they're going to continue to do this stuff. You have other options, though. One of them would be the option, homeschool your child. Homeschooling is not an experiment. The public school system is an experiment. People have been homeschooling their kids for hundreds and hundreds of years with great success. If you'd like to be like, well, I'd like to look into this, maybe learn a little bit more, I have here a series of videos that you can watch. I didn't make them. These are made by some professionals in the industry. I will put a link in the description of this video where you can see how easy it is to withdraw your kid from public school. It literally takes one letter. What is required, how to do it. So this is a wonderful option. And people choosing to homeschool their children, this idea has been exploding for years. A great deal since 2020. People actually saw what their kids were being taught. So if you'd like to explore that, got the links for you, and we'll be keeping an eye on what they are doing and if they indeed lose all of their federal funding. So until next week, Patriots, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.